How are you doing in this cosmos, this system we live in? It's hard, isn't it? If you have faith in the scriptures, which I hope you do, you know that this life is not all there is, and we have the hope of resurrection. Now the problem is this: you've got so many pagan religions that teach that we are going to be like on the wheel of karma, come back in another life form. And you've got Christian religions that teach that when you die, you go straight away to heaven. Is that really what the scriptures teach? I'm not talking about Buddhism now, I'm talking about Christianity. Do we really go straight away to heaven? Or, God forbid, the lie, we go to hell? You see, Paul warned about this in 2 Timothy chapter 2, about this idea about being resurrected upon death instantaneously to the realm of heaven. And he talked about this in 2 Timothy 2:17. Talks about their talk will spread like gangrene, and they're upsetting the faith of some. Okay, they say the resurrection has already occurred. Then we go forward in the same letter to what we know as chapter 4. What did Paul say in verse 7 of chapter 4, 2 Timothy? I have fought the good fight. I finished the race. I've kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me, or stored up, the crown of righteousness which the Lord will award to me on that day. Did you get that? But not only to me, Paul says, but all who have loved his appearing. So Paul knew he would sleep in the grave. Then we go back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. And we go to verse 14 onwards. Now we who believe Messiah died and rose again. Even so, through Messiah, God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep. Now, listen to this. 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 15. This we declare to you by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive, who are left until the coming of the Lord, shall not precede those who have fallen asleep. Did you get that? For all people who teach that when you die, you go straight to heaven. Now we go to John 11. The wonderful chapter about the resurrection of Lazarus. Do you remember that? Where Jesus wept, the Messiah wept. John 11, and we'll go to verse 23, where Martha was weeping about her brother Lazarus. Okay. John 11, 23. Messiah said to Martha, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Backtrack to John 6 and verse 39. Messiah says, this is the will of him who sent me. I should lose nothing at all that he has given me, but I will raise it up. When? At the last day. So if you're going to a funeral, for example, of your beloved ones, and you've been told by a pastor or whatever that your loved ones are now alive in heaven, you've been lied to, they're asleep, awaiting a resurrection. Why would you need a resurrection if you're being taken up to another place? It makes the resurrection nonsense. Do you get those scriptures? I could show you many, many more. All our loved ones are asleep, unconscious, without pain, and if they've lived bad lives, they certainly aren't in hellfire. That's a lie. The resurrection occurs en bloc when the Messiah comes back in a miraculous way we can't even comprehend. And it has not occurred yet. Only one person has been immortalized, Messiah, who is coming back to this earth. Paul speaks about heaven holding this glorified man in heaven itself until the restoration of all things. He'll be released to the earth and will draw up the resurrected, the dead. Awesome times ahead.